We are excited to have Shawn with Katana with us today. We've been partners with Katana for about a year now, and in a recent engagement, we really needed outsourced manufacturing. Well, Katana answered that call, and they developed outsourced manufacturing. I'm sure I'm not the only one that requested it, but I feel special, and this is an exciting time. So in this video, Shawn is going to demo their new outsourced manufacturing tool. I'm Lance, inventory expert since 2006. And to see more videos like this, please click subscribe. Comment below if you have other requests for Katana or just want to ask questions. And be sure to like this video too. So Shawn, tell us a little bit about Katana briefly, but then let's focus on this outsourced manufacturing tool and tell us a little bit about what you had to do to get the software set up so it'll work right. That's one thing I preach in my YouTube channel is it's got to be set up right and used right in order for it to be successful. So tell us a little bit about the setup and then show us the workflow.
Yeah, it sounds great. So a little bit about Katana. So Katana just had its fifth birthday. So we've been around for five
Happy
years.
birthday.
Thank you very much. We've been around for 5 years, and we've really focused on the direct-to-consumer manufacturing market. And often our customers are utilizing e-commerce channels to sell their products. And where Katana comes in is we integrate directly with those e-commerce channels to bring in the demand and allow them to manage the manufacturing as well as the raw material inventory related to the finished good products that they need to produce and fulfill the sales orders that are coming through their e-commerce channels such as Shopify, WooCommerce, or Amazon.
And what
And
caught my eye with
mhm,
Katana a year ago. Let's see, this video we're recording it May 2022, so about a year ago from now. What caught my eye with Katana is um, the MRP focused dashboard. Their screens are very MRP friendly. Um, uh, sort of, you'll see that here in a second.
yeah, absolutely. We can dive into it here, and I'll actually just go ahead and share my screen to give us some context. Um, we have all of the sales orders listed out on the left-hand side here that are coming in from the different sales channels that the company is utilizing. So they can be entered in manually or automatically populate through Shopify, WooCommerce, or whatever e-commerce sales channel they're using. And with this market, what we've seen is brands often will start to scale and grow, and they can't handle doing all the manufacturing in-house. And so they'll actually utilize outsourced manufacturers to construct and build their products, whether it be an assembly operation, mixing or bottling, depending on what the company requires. And the challenge with that is actually managing the inventory that is at your contract manufacturer's location to ensure they have enough to actually fulfill the finished good demand that you're requiring them to make. And so
One of the
that's the
benefits,
workflow.
yeah, one of the benefits of inventory software is visibility. So um, we want to be able to see how much inventory is at each site and what the demand and the supply is at each site, what's going to the site, what's leaving the site. Um, so yeah, uh, it's interesting. You say that um, as people grow, they tend to want to outsource, and I've also seen the opposite true as well, where uh, when they first start out, they outsourced, and then as they grow, they want to control quality and bring it in. But
Makes sense.
regardless of when they decide to do it, it seems like I'm seeing outsourced manufacturing become more and more common. I see it more and more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's due to the technology that's been developed in the market with e-commerce channels and shipping products allow companies to really sell their products globally, and outsource manufacturing is an important part of companies fulfilling and scaling in those environments.
So, Shawn, in order for your outsourced manufacturing feature to work, what has to be set up? What do they have to do first to get it set up right so it'll work right?
Yeah, for sure. Great question. So let's dive in, I think, to the item area where you would actually have your finished product set up. And that will help us sort of see how you might want to set up your product. So I've set up a product here called Shawn's Beauty Cream.
All right.
So we have our product name, the category here, which is outsourced. So that just will help us when we're looking at managing our inventory, we can filter our finished good products that we outsource for manufacturing because we still may manufacture some products internally. And so that's an important feature or not feature, field to fill in and identify that this product is actually outsourced. And then we also want to put in our default purchase price. So that would be the per unit price that you essentially pay your outsourced manufacturer to produce. So in this case, our default supplier is our bottling specialist. So they're going to be doing some sort of bottling operation, and for each product that they bottle, the cost is $2. And the other area we can see is we do have some ingredient costs associated to this. So that's one of the nice things about outsourced manufacturing within Katana is we now have the ability to account for not only the internal costs like ingredients and raw materials, but we also have the outsourced manufacturing costs that we can associate for an accurate cost of goods sold. And if we go over to our bill of material, we can now see the products or the ingredients that make up this finished product. So in this case, we have cream. There's 25 milliliters of cream that would be going into a bottle, the bottle itself, and the cap that goes on top of the bottle. So there's 3 components that go into Shawn's Beauty Cream to make our finished product.
Perfect. Simple. I like simple examples.
Perfect. And that's, as complicated as it needs to be in order for you to set up a product properly and go through the workflow of contract manufacturing. There's a couple different workflows that you could do, and we can talk about the different ones. So one is like you described, where you buy the inventory to your location and then you ship it to your outsourced manufacturer's location. The other is that you buy directly to your outsourced manufacturing location.
That
So
happens a lot. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you can manage the inventory that is currently at your outsourced manufacturing location. And so the other thing we need to look at from a setup perspective is if we go over to settings, we would look at our locations. And you're going to want to set up a location for each of your outsourced manufacturers. So in this case, we just have the one bottling specialist, and we have a location set up there. Because at that
Okay.
location, they're going to be producing product that will consume ingredients, and we want to make sure that they have enough ingredients at that location. And then the other thing I think it would make sense to check, so depending on your workflows, but you likely won't sell, some places might, but you won't sell from your contract manufacturer. So sales orders would only come into your main location, and then they would, at your contract manufacturing location, they would make, as well as you can potentially buy product directly to their location.
Cool. Okay.
So we now have 2 things that we've taken a look at. We have the item that we set up that we're going to go through the outsourced manufacturing workflow, as well as the bottling specialist, who is our vendor, where we set up our location, where we'll need to manage inventory at that location.
Cool. Okay. Let's see the workflow here.
All right. So when we're on the sales order screen, you could have these orders populate automatically, the demand or the sales order come into the system. But we're going to, in this scenario, just create one manually. We're going to put in an order for Shawn's Beauty Cream.
Okay.
So I'm going to go into the sales order section here. The plus button is where you would enter in most transactions manually that you're going to be doing. So in this case, we'd identify our customer. So let's say our customer is Melissa. You can see there's a bill to address, and we have a ship from location, and we're going to now enter in our product, and this is going to be Shawn's beauty cream. All right, so we've entered our sales order into the system. It's as easy as that. We may want to go and increase the quantity, so maybe we want to order 5 of these. And you can see here automatically the system's doing 2 things. It's looking at, in our current location, do we have the finished good in stock, as well as do we have the ingredients in stock? And it's showing not available for both of these. So it's nice to provide that visibility immediately, not only into the finished good, but also the ingredients that go into that finished good.
Perfect.
So, so from here, there's sort of 2 ways that you could handle the workflow. If you know that this is a product that you outsource manufacture, you could hit the plus sign here, and you could go directly to outsource purchase order. So I click outsource purchase order. So it's under our buy button. And this is where we're creating that purchase order to our supplier, which was our bottling company. So I would go into bottling specialist as our supplier. And it shows here immediately when I put in bottling specialist that there are more items missing in stock from that same supplier. Okay, so that's essentially just telling us that there are items that we utilize this supplier for that we can go and create that purchase order for. And that demand is coming from that sales order that we had just entered in. So I would just hit the add them button. And you can see that Shawn's beauty cream, there's actually 6 pieces that are missing from the demand we have within our system. And I can add that now to this order. We'll also want to identify that the ingredients, the location that we're tracking the ingredients at, are our bottling specialists. So that's where we're tracking these ingredients here, which were the bill of materials, so the raw material related to that product. So if I jump over to track ingredients, we can actually see at the location of our bottling specialist, we have bottles and we have caps sufficient enough to fulfill the demand for this outsourced purchase order. So they can go ahead and make Shawn's beauty cream with the bottles and caps that they have. What they're missing is the cream. They don't have enough cream at that location. So this is where we can do one of 2 things. We could buy the cream and have it delivered at our bottling specialist location, or conversely, we could buy the cream to our location and then transfer it to their location. And then we are integrated, for example, with QuickBooks. So this could go and create the QuickBooks Online or Xero. So this could create the invoice related to this purchase order, as well as if we were to receive in the products that are on this, so Shawn's beauty cream, back to our main location, that would update our inventory as well.
Okay.
All right. So that's how we create the OPO purchase order. The other thing that we want to kind of consider is at our outsourced manufacturer, the ability to manage inventory at their location. And so this is where when we're on our stock screen, we can then go and see at our bottling specialist location, what do they actually have in stock? So we can look at the products that they're producing or the materials that they're consuming. So if we look at products, we can see here that they are short cream. So they need some cream to be provided to them. And that demand was coming from the order that we had just placed. We can also look at any raw materials that they might need. So it's showing that they could use some bottles as well as caps because of the minimum quantity that they want to keep on hand there. So we need to, actually go and replenish the inventory at our bottling specialist location. So providing them with some bottles and caps as well as cream, as they're currently short on those products. And that's where we can go and buy directly to their location, Or if we had that inventory at our main location, we could do a stock transfer and send it over.
So now it's there, and I imagine the next step is they produce it, they perform the work.
That's right. They produce it, they perform the work, and then at that point, we're going to go in and click receive all. So that means that they've completed the work, they've shipped it back to our main location. So when we receive all, that will then go and update our inventory related to this product, and now put into our finished good inventory at our main location 6 units of Shawn's Beauty Cream.
So this workflow is really simple. We don't have to close out a work order or close out an assembly. There's nothing we have to do to say they finished over there and they used X amount of bottles, X amount of cream, and X amount of caps. We just come here and receive.
That's right. So what's happening is the ingredients are being tracked automatically based on your bill of material. So based on the amount of finished goods that they are producing, that's where it is identifying the quantity of ingredients that is required.
Okay, so it says received. We received it. And so I imagine Shawn's Beauty Cream now has a value that's a combination of the cream, bottle, cap, and filling service.
That's right. So if we were to look at our main location inventory, which I still have open actually on a screen over here, but on another tab, but I can go back to our stock screen here. We'll look at our main location and we can just search for, it's under products, Shawn's Beauty Cream. So just got a filter on here. So we now have Shawn's Beauty Cream, which has a certain quantity in stock, as well as a value for that quantity and an average cost of that as well.
There we go. There it is. And then I don't know if you're connected to QuickBooks right now. If you were, I'd love to see what it sent to QuickBooks. If not, that's okay. But
so at this moment, we are connected to QuickBooks. So if we went over to the sell screen or the buy screen, all that's really going over to QuickBooks at this moment is your invoice, or your bill on the purchasing side. So essentially, we're just creating an invoice for the finished good line item when we sell the product, and a bill for the products or services that we're purchasing on the buy side or the purchase order side of things.
okay, so I think that was everything. You showed us how to, well, you didn't show us how to, you showed us that you had created a bill of material for Shawn's Beauty Cream, and you created a site or a location with an address that represents the bottling specialist. I think
That's right. Exactly. Good memory.
That's the guy
Bottling
that
specialist.
is, yeah, that's the guy that's filling the bottle for you.
Mm-hmm.
And in the workflow, we transferred him some cream. He already had bottles and caps. You showed us creating a sales order, so there was demand there, which I liked, because once that demand was there, you went to the outsourced purchase order screen, and there was a feature on there that automatically populated the quantity that we needed to order, which I like.
Exactly.
Love automation, right? And kind of threw me off for a minute, because I thought, well, where's the issue button or the save button or the whatever button? You're like, no, that's it. It's there. Simple. But then we saw, okay, the vendor is short cream. We're ordering the filling service, but now the software is showing us that he's short on cream. So you showed us how to send him cream using the stock transfer feature. We went to stock transfer, put the cream on there, had the from location, the to location. Can't remember if you click save on that part or not, but
There's no
Once,
save button. So
yeah, once,
it's one of the things that takes a little while to get used to, but everything is autosave with Katana. So it automatically, as you are entering it, it is saving within the system.
cool. Yeah, so then once you were done with that stock transfer, you took us back to the outsourced purchase order screen, and voila, the red square turned green, and it was now a green square. And the only thing we had to do was receive the purchase order or receive the outsourced purchase order. It was a certain type of purchase order, I noticed, had another tab there. And then once we received that, it showed us that we now had that in stock and we were no longer short, and we could receive those sales orders. There was one sales order that had a quantity of 5 that we created on this video. And then I'm assuming there was another sales order that had a quantity of 1 that was created prior to the video. And then it's good to know that Katana is not integrated with the balance sheet of QuickBooks Online yet, so no one expects that. But it's creating bills in Katana, or excuse me, in QuickBooks Online. Did I miss anything?
I think that was a great summary as far as the workflow. Good memory as far as pointing out some of the names. And yeah, I think that's a good summary of the workflow and really what we're trying to accomplish. And what often we hear companies that use outsourced manufacturers are challenged with is it's relatively easy to create a purchase order to say, hey, go and produce this stuff for us, but they don't know how much material is at that contract manufacturer's location so that they have enough to actually produce the finished good products. And they also lose sight of the inventory that they're assigning them. So from a costing perspective, there's a concern if they are using more of that inventory than they should be. You lose track of that and sight of that. And with Katana, it really does help manage the inventory that is at that outsourced manufacturer's location. And that's really the workflow that we walk through today.
Nice. Thank you. I think outsourced manufacturing, like we talked about at the beginning of the video, is becoming more and more popular. So I think and I hope a lot of people will be interested in this new feature. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot,
We'll,
Lance.
we'll look for more great features to come, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, the next big one, I think, with the QuickBooks Online inventory sync will be a nice one to come out shortly, and there's certainly more to come. And we really listen to our customers and our partners like Lance that help drive and craft the evolution of Katana as we continue to grow and expand. So thanks a lot for your time, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. This is Lance, inventory software expert since 2006 from Brando Consulting. Shawn from Katana, one of my favorite salespeople there. And be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below.